can tell we need to talk about things, so I'll let you start. Yes, I'm listening. Oh, I understand that. You need help with what you say? Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy, because the last time that we talked about this, I felt like I was really clear. I gave you everything that you needed to hear, but you're still asking me for more. No, I'm just trying to understand what you're asking for. Because the only thing that I can't really describe right now is how angry I am about you not listening to what I said before. You're just not listening. You're projecting.
All right, welcome everybody to the comic panel. I'm Cody.
I'm Talon.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Shawenta.
For those of you who are listening for the first time, we are a bi-weekly radio show podcast comic book club covering any and everything regarding comics and manga. We have each co-host pick a book that follows a specific theme and review a book for each episode. Then we wrap up the theme with a retrospective episode covering our opinions and favorite moments from each of the books. This is our retrospective on the theme of cults. The books we covered for this theme were 20th Century Boys by Naoki Urasawa, Ultimate X-Men 2024 by Peach Momoko, Loving Ohio by Matthew Erman and Sam Beck, and Luna by Maria Llovet. To quickly refresh listeners who have not read these books or listened to the previous episodes, 20th Century Boys is about a man who is adrift, having to reckon with the fact that a powerful cult is inspired by a group he created as a child. Ultimate X-Men is about a high school freshman girl in Japan who finds out she has powers and is dealing with the tragic death of her best friend, all while finding out about a local cult of other powered people who may have had something to do with her friend's death. Loving Ohio is about a group of high schoolers who are looking for an escape from their small town that is completely controlled by a worldwide cult. It turns out, though, that this cult has a demonic watchdog that kills kids in the town. Luna is about a woman who, in the summer of love, 1969, crashes her car in the desert and is rescued by a New Age cult who actually has a sun god chained up in a cave, and the leader's blood is actually addictive. So, Shawenta, you chose this theme. What was your reasoning behind doing so?
I think we talked about this previously, so I won't go over it too much. Mm-hmm. But okay, so partially, I just want to read more Naoki Urasawa. Mm-hmm. I was like, how do I get us to read 20th Century Boys? Mm-hmm. But that was my second thing. My, first thing was, I don't know. I see cults used so often in, stories and comics. But, I don't know, sometimes their portrayal, there's such different portrayals. Sometimes it feels like too much of a cliche. It's a cult. Mm-hmm. Therefore, it's bad. So I kind of wanted to see a different breadth of types of cults shown, and I feel like it's very topical for the current United States. Mm-hmm. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks for that. Those thoughts about that. These books are all depict cults in a variety of ways. So let's kind of talk about what some of the similarities and differences that we thought were striking about that.
I won't go first because I've only read two of them. But
Okay. Wait, so you won't go first?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I thought you were going to compare the two that you saw.
Oh, gotcha.
Which two was it, Talon?
I read Loving Ohio and Luna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so those ones, yeah, definitely Loving Ohio. There's definitely a big difference in scope between the two. You know, one is a giant cult that is it controls the entire town that they live in and has missionaries and stuff like that.
Global branches.
Yeah. And then the other one is just 5 people.
It's 5 people. I really was expecting them to reveal more people. It's just them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of weirdos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the thing that's sticking out is like, with being a giant cult, it's like it's kind of like omnipresent in a sense. Like it's there and also removed. Like it becomes part of the reality in that town. And then with Luna, it's just like, I don't know. It definitely does seem small scale,
Yeah, because it seems
Could
like
be mistaken for like a weird friend group.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think like really thinking about that, it's like, well, what the thing that's is different between them, and why 5 people can be a cult in this context is because like, basically, it's the power, like one has people power, but then the other has like magical power. I mean, granted, it does seem like the big cult in Loving Ohio also has some sort of magical power, but yeah.
The fear comes a little bit from the bureaucracy of it, right? And like Talon's saying, it's so entrenched in the town. It is the town. Like, you can't have the town without the cult. There's no part of it that goes untouched by the cult.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. You could argue that it's like, between those two, it's a matter of timeline, right? Like, could the people in Luna, the cult specifically, of Lux or whatever, Richard,
Yeah.
become eventually, bigger?
Right.
I don't know. It doesn't seem super scalable, feeding a bunch of blood to everybody.
If you're run out of blood with 4 people, I don't think we're gonna. That's not maintaining.
Yeah.
That's where they have to switch to a different lie, and that's when they decide to use the fluoride.
Oh, only the special ones get the blood. The rest just have to believe harder.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually, someday, they get the cool addictive substance.
Yeah.
I mean, it could just be drugs. Like, I understand, like, the allegory part of it, but also,
No, totally.
it was the 60s. It could have just been drugs.
Yeah.
But the drugs are magical. Makes them extra good.
Yeah.
That is the thing about Luna. Like, Loving Ohio, the kids are like, we'll get out of this town, and we'll leave, and we'll get away from this all. And Luna, if you're one of those people who took the blood, what is your options?
Yeah.
Like, do you just die if you don't get it eventually?
Yeah, it seems like you turn into some sort of like vampire, like grow
Right.
fangs and stuff.
You just live out the rest of your days like that.
Yeah, hungry and yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, we never get to see, but it does seem like, given that they are like, yeah, they're killed by the sun god, basically. It's like, yeah, they, that was kind of a mercy killing in a way, is at least my interpretation without the text specifically saying it. So yeah.
No removing the addiction, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both supernaturally powered. At least on the surface, it seems like.
Yeah.
But like Jake was saying, it literally just could be drugs.
Yeah. Yeah. It was important because, I mean, I don't know. I think that, yeah, like, at least the story had a slightly interesting angle by it being like, oh, okay, well, lots of cults like say that they're, have some sort of magic thing, but yeah, this is like, it actually does have something.
Okay, but if you cut away, if you pretend that, like, what it is just something actually physical, then at the core of it, it's just Lux lying about, like, I'm the only one who could provide this addictive substance. Right? And so his form of control is, like, very physical one, versus Loving is a very societal one at first.
Yeah.
Like, or it's a social, that's what I meant.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you do it because your family does it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Ultimate X-Men, That one's such a hard one with the cult. It's so little of it is shown in some ways.
Yeah, it's definitely because I mean, that one is in some way meant to be like, basically like it's creating an in and an out group, where it's like, oh, we are the future of mankind, where we are better than everybody else who doesn't have these like powers, basically.
Yeah, I mean, technically there's already an in and an out group, like the people with powers, the people without powers.
Right.
And they're just trying to capitalize on that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, being able to...
But where does the control come from?
Well, yeah, I think that we kind of talked about how it's like, it's put into this background of like the whole like new Marvel Ultimate Universe kind of thing, but yeah, I think that it's generally trying to keep mutants in general under control, like there's this presence that like, kind of sucks them up, and it's like, okay, well, we say how and when you can use your powers and why, and it's going to be for, because it's all orchestrated by the ruling class, right? It's the
Oh yeah, it's technically sort of government funded.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
it's interesting, the idea of like they're not going to do outright government control, so instead using this other subtler way.
Yeah, and if it like kind of goes wrong, then they can, clean their hands of it. They don't have to like, they're like, yeah, it was those guys, like,
oh my god, they were crazy.
Yeah.
We had nothing to do with it. And then 20th Century Boys, I don't know, I want to say it feels more realistic.
Yeah.
Never been in a cult, to be fair.
True. Yeah, no, I would agree. That's probably the most grounded one. Like,
I think it's partially because it doesn't just involve young people. In some ways. Like, I'm not saying it was only young people in the cults and all the other ones. But they're definitely, I don't know, the age group does feel a little bit older.
Yeah, for sure. Which, it's funny that, like, because 20th Century Boys still, it centers in a way on a childhood friend group, but it is about them as adults, ultimately. But yeah, that is kind of an interesting thread between all four, is that in some way it is about, kids. Or, well, I guess the Luna, not so much, I guess. Those, but they did seem young in some way.
They still
too.
come off as young and, like, impressionable. And that's the thing, right? It's the easiest when you're just trying to figure out your identity.
Yeah. Totally.
But 20th Century Boys, to be fair, like, the main character isn't in the cult.
No.
Like, Loving Ohio, Duck, and then Luna becomes stuck very quickly. Not quite sure about Ultimate X-Men.
Yeah, that one has, like, members of the team, so to speak, are their parents are part of the cult, but they're pretty all...
They're just in it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm remembering the basketball scene and being like, yeah, our parents are in it. It's like, wait, you weren't going to bring this up before?
Yeah, well, they weren't supposed to talk about it. It's a secret cult.
They spilled it really quickly, though.
Yeah, well, they're kids. They shouldn't have trusted kids with secret information. that was the first mistake.
God, all these do have supernatural elements, though. Even 20th Century Boys, little psychic baby.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I forgot about that. I did I remembered feeling like there was psychic or supernatural elements since 20th Century Boys, but I didn't bring it up because I couldn't remember what it was. But yeah, psychic baby and some other things that were a little bit off, like
Psychic old man.
yeah, psychic old man, and unclear if the floating of our friend was faked or real. Gotta read more to find out.
Yeah, how is the control enforced?
Yeah.
Beyond the obvious of like the one guy who trying to find the main character and gets stabbed.
Yeah. Yeah. And, so that kind of does bring up the question, like, so many people are pulled to this idea as writers, of like cults have like this, because I mean, obviously it's an easy thing to do. Like, like we said, they claim to have, supernatural, whatever connection to God or gods or whatever. And then, yeah, so it's like, so it's an easy connection to make if you're like, ooh, well, I want to write, a story about supernatural stuff happening, in an evil group. But, also, like, especially ones that kind of take it more seriously, like Loving Ohio, it's like, there has to be this thought that's like the things that the real life groups are doing are so, like, it's so hard to wrap our heads around that they could have so much control and influence over such a large group of people, that it's like it's easier to digest if there's actually is some supernatural influence.
Yeah. Like, why don't you just walk away kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to depict it in like, these are okay, so 20th Century Boys is a longer series, so obviously we haven't seen all of what it's going to become. Ultimate X-Men is also longer.
Yeah.
But Loving Ohio and Luna are pretty self-contained. One volume, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I think, yeah, Loving Ohio, I want to say it's a very decent depiction of, it's also very realistic, and like, there's not going to be some big dramatic fight where you win against it. The big bad.
Yeah.
It's so insidious, and like you were saying, Cody, so much of like real life cults, like the whole point is to be shrouded in mystery. Like not sure who's telling the truth, who's not.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you can wrap your mind around it, then you can start to fight against it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
It is funny. I was not expecting there to be like all of them to be supernatural in some way.
No, and I, before we started this episode too, I was thinking about how we actually read a book. I think it was just Taylon and me very long ago, and I don't know if you'll be able to remember Taylon. I think it was written by Rick Remender, and it was like a noir, like kind of Cthulhu-like thing that had or it was like a Cthulhu cult. It's like a detective character.
The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is had something to do with like a damsel in distress.
Yeah, I mean that's
what. I thought
it was called Fatale.
Ah, yeah, okay,
yes,
yeah,
because femme fatale is the phrase that you were looking for just now.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that one also had a cult that was
I don't
mystical. Anyway, though, I was just thinking about that book because of the cult elements. But yeah, it's just interesting that, like so many of them, actually have some mystical element, and I guess like, maybe that's like, I'm trying to think of like, maybe that's the most respectful way to do it, because either that or it's like, doing like an actual like historical like document kind of comic,
okay.
like a autobiography of somebody who, if you personally were in a cult, what it was like for you. But like,
I mean, sometimes people are in cults and they never realize it. And then they get out and they didn't even realize until they leave, right?
yeah.
Doesn't make for as compelling of a story, does it, though?
No. Yeah, that's
I
kind
was
of
there, I didn't know it.
I wonder if there's some aspect of, like, you don't realize what's going on because you never stop to think about it. You're just like...
Well, a lot with, like, the Loving Ohio doesn't do this, but I suspect... I know that people who grow up in cults, like, it's normal. This is what life is like. So, of course, you don't know. You don't know anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, Loving doesn't really depict that, though. The kids sort of know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, and it's, definitely, like, to that point, too, that it's, like, oftentimes... the reason that like young people will get sent on missions is to prove to them that the world is like scary and evil essentially without the light of their cult because like
Their specific beliefs.
Yeah, because like basically you'll go they'll send you to door knock like and then people will yell in your face and tell you to go away and stuff and so it's like, oh well, wow, these people really do need our our
The
belief
people
system.
in the out are mean, the people in the in are good, us against them. You were kind of mentioning earlier like cults and eldritch horror kind of go hand in hand very much. Like if there's eldritch horror, they're going to have a cult around it.
Yeah.
And that was kind of touching on my earlier comment about how cults often are used as a shorthand of like, everybody believes this weird thing and they're bad guys now because of it.
Yeah.
Like, too often there's not an exploration of like, how you get entrenched in that versus like I walked in a room and I was hypnotized by the eldritch horror.
Yeah. I mean, I will say though that I feel like Loving Ohio did do kind of a good job with I'm forgetting the main character's name, but her dad, where it's just like,
oh, when he accepts all that stuff at the end.
Yeah, and even throughout too, you just see that it's like, oh, you are just like you can't, like we were saying earlier, you are not seeing the deception, like, and you're just like a guy, like there's nothing evil
can't
about
comprehend
you,
not being a part of the group, sort of.
Yeah, like,
well, he's like an autopilot. It just seemed like to me like he just like let things happen.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's just what made sense, and especially, like, I'm trying to remember now, was there an element of, like, her mom they're just separated, so, yeah.
Yeah, lives in a different part of the state or country.
No, she was in California.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm sure that I don't know if the book mentions this, but I can imagine that had an impact on him being on autopilot.
Yeah, and generally, wanting to feel accepted and included, and like,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ultimate X-Men starts out with like the loss of a friend.
Yeah.
It is that thing of loneliness.
Yeah.
And Luna being like, she's very physically displaced.
Yeah.
We don't even see the car crash. But they instantly are on it like, man, the things they say to her at the very beginning, they're like, you were just meant to be here. Like, it's so good you're here. this just feels right. And she's like, yeah, this does feel right. Like,
Yeah. And yeah, definitely feeling, she also has this like kind of like lacking identity a little bit, lacking self-assuredness.
Jeez.
Huh? Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, it has something to do with her grandma, right?
Right, yeah. And like generally just like because she doesn't, we kind of talked about in the episode a little bit like the visions, they're described as like future visions.
Dreams?
Prophetic.
Yeah, prophetic dreams. Yeah, but like they aren't really, or at least there's not a lot of examples throughout, like there's some where she like sketches some stuff and eventually it's like, oh, that makes sense why you sketched that picture and now it connects to what you're living. But then after like one instance of that, it's just interfacing with the god in the cave. It's there's no other prophetic dreams. But generally, though, she's apparently been having these prophetic dreams in her past, and so like she's trying to like figure out like what her place is and what these mean and stuff, and she feels so like, I don't know, just like she doesn't understand herself.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense because that was the whole ending of the book, was giving her an identity.
True. Yeah.
My identity just happened to be like a god.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. She became the moon.
I mean, all you gotta do to get out of a cult is get your own supernatural powers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't get too in my mind because that one really, I wouldn't say that it like annoyed me or anything, but it's just like it felt so fast, everything felt fast. And so I talked very much about that in the Luna episode, so I won't go back on that.
It's just a short story that's been lengthened.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so that sounds like a least favorite moment for you. Do you have any favorite moments from some of the books?
Gosh, I guess I really enjoyed 20th Century Boys. I'm trying to think of what like a favorite moment from that would have been, but because there was.
I mean, I love that baby, and I love that old homeless guy.
Yeah, it was fun. Some of the flashbacks were fun. And honestly, the intrigue actually, like, I'm remembering now as I talk about it, the cop that like almost figures it out and also almost gets redemption with his daughter. And then,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He loves to do little short asides like that. Like we saw that in Pluto.
Yes.
Like we get the whole arc of this character, and because of that, we get the tragedy in the same chapter almost.
Yeah. It's like, dang, no, I wanted you to
His
succeed.
whole life has been leading up to redemption, and he's not going to get it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably my favorite moment from that one.
I liked certain parts of Loving Ohio. Having a little bit of difficulty. Oh yeah, we talked about it a lot in the episode. Cleaning up the room of their friend who died
Yeah.
suddenly.
Yeah. Was killed.
And them just going into the room and finding all those different things they left and being like parts of themselves that they sort of gave to their friend, and they're having to take it back now, and it just feels like hollowing out a husk.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely that was pretty impactful, and I think it gained some impact from talking about it. I think I kind of like just read through it at first, and then I was like, oh yeah, that is like it's very I don't know, just very, I guess I can't find a different word other than impactful, but
Poignant. Yeah.
poignant, yeah.
Yeah.
Ultimate X-Men.
It's got that cool fight in the rain.
I do keep thinking of that one, but I wouldn't say I liked it though. I just remember it the most.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I was thinking of the lightning fight in the street. You're right. The rain fight was better.
Yeah.
Was that the same in the same book?
Yeah.
It was two different. Oh, okay.
Two different
I
fights.
mean, different volumes.
Yeah.
Oh,
think.
okay. Oh, you guys read two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah, because the
They
Colts
never fully
really-
fights though. They're they end before they become a proper fight. I feel like.
Yeah, a little bit. It's yeah. I really do.
I mean, to be fair, they're kids.
Usually in modern comics, I kind of complain about decompression, but I feel like that book really could have been helped by some decompression. I don't know. It's but really, it's just pacing. You know, it's just
There's so many characters.
Yeah, there's so many characters, and I just want a little bit more time with all of them so that I can feel attached to them. You know, because it's I mean, even if we just compare to classic X-Men, like Chris Claremont X-Men, you know, it's yeah, it's a big team, you know, but you always get a little bit you know, thought balloons of what everybody's thinking and feeling, you know, and they go off on their own and we switch scenes and stuff. And I just feel that's not really there with this, you know, they don't use their time wisely with the characters. It's a lot of pushing the plot forward.
Yeah, having to hit certain beats, it really does feel like that. And I mentioned in the episode, it makes the death of the friend from the beginning really less impactful. I have no idea who he is. He gets to be mentioned every once in a while. At the beginning, I'll admit, like you said, Cody, in the episode, you were well, he appears in the beginning in a visual, almost ghost way, and it's really creepy. But that's kind of it. Even the deaths of the other people who are very obviously, you know, not actually taking their lives.
Yeah.
Just sort of mentioned, and the characters go, "Did you hear that happen?" He's man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was just thinking of you know, it if taking what we liked from Loving Ohio and putting it into that book, if what was her name? I can't remember Armor's name now. But if she went to her friend's house to pick up stuff and maybe there isn't that much stuff, you know, it's oh, there's just this one thing, maybe that's how she gets the charm back, you know, instead of
oh my god, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
That would have been something, anything. That is the thing. I to be fair, I forgot we read Ultimate X-Men. I was listing off the things we read in my mind, and I was what is that third one or that fourth one? And I think it's because it feels like the bones of a story not filled in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think my favorite parts were the villains talking to each other. Because some characters were just sort of chit-chatting, and you got a sense of who they were from how they interacted with each other.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily moving the plot along that much. There was a little bit of exposition. But I don't think the main character gets much of that.
Yeah.
She's always moving the plot along by finding out the people standing next to her in a cult.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of, you know, outside of our theme. I feel that's vital to X-Men to me personally, is you know, having that time to breathe and get people's, you know, personalities and stuff. But
Makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, kind of. I liked how you said Shuenta, just like the bones of a story, because that's kind of what all plot and no character is, you know? It's like we don't, I don't know. The plot is supposed to affect people's characters, you know?
Yeah. There's a YouTuber named Abby Emmons, and she gives advice on writing. And the way that she describes a story is that it's the events that happen to a character, and it's about how what happens affects them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Which is why
I mean, a character
think,
can't just be reactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why of between Luna and Loving Ohio, I think Loving Ohio does a really good job at showing how this affects the characters, which makes it stand out to me as a very different story than, because I mentioned this in the episode, like it's a very different story to me than other stories we've read because of that kind of like the way that we see and relate to the characters.
Yeah.
And so if I was going to say like my favorite moment, I would actually say the dad was probably my favorite, because not in like a way of like I thought it was really cool, but I thought it was very palpable, like him being a bad example, you know, like this is what happens when you check out, you know. I really like felt that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it left an emotional impression.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, I mean, we've said this already. That scene of him signing things and just signing away everything is. I didn't know you could make me care about a paperwork scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
I do keep thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because it's like, yeah, he's like, I mean, in some ways, because of how our society is built, you know, our material possessions are our life in a lot of ways. So he's like literally signing his life away, you know?
They're your bargaining chips in this case.
Yeah.
He cannot be, he gives away control of them.
And you know just how much he would have put into acquiring those things, you know, how much he would have put into the donut shop, how much he would have put into buying a house.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even just like the lead up to it. I think it's also the feeling of no return. Like you don't, he's not going to get those back. He's not going to like beg and plead and they're like, you know, we're sorry, we'll give it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a similar thing with the like Luna story in terms of like, at least the way it's portrayed. It's a little bit of an unreliable narrator, right? Like I don't know if I trust Luna.
Yeah.
It's depiction of events. She has a 10-year script on reality, possibly.
Fair.
Yeah.
But there is this sense that there's no coming back from it. It's addictive and there's no cure. At least the other girls seem to be portrayals of that.
Yeah.
And then as far as like Loving Ohio, it's a little bit less dire for like the main character, the kids. There's a sense that they can leave. But even in the end of the ending monologue being you never really leave, it's always inside them in some ways.
Yeah.
I gotta read more of 20th Century Boys.
Yeah. Yeah, and one thing too, I had to go back and look back through Loving Ohio because I was like, I don't remember, and so I have to make sure that this is true, you know. But you know, we were talking about the paperwork scene and like, you know, the things that he would have, built up, and he's not going to get those back. And it's also like, the donut shop, we start at it at the beginning of the book, and they're talking about how like the word donut is spelled wrong, and that's part of it and stuff. And then at the end, it's Third Eye Donuts. They've changed the name, and it's lost its character. It's become, even the donut shop has become part of the cult.
Oof.
Absorbing everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like even the landscape changing around them in Loving Ohio, through like that kind of environmental storytelling. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't feel it in X-Men, Ultimate X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
And the Luna cult is just too fledgling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To be fair, they are stuck in the desert.
Yeah. I do think, we do feel that way in 20th Century Boys, though, where it's like, yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, you feel the encroachment of the cult along with the encroachment of like corporatization too, with like the store becoming a chain and stuff like that, and also kind of the encroachment of like true adulthood too, like having to put away your dreams and do what is like responsible. I think all of those things are kind of encroaching on our character.
Yeah, his sister who enabled him, she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
He has to take on these responsibilities, namely the baby, the store.
Yeah. And then,
what little he has, honestly.
Yeah. And then, like, yeah, the cult pops up, and it's like, oh, well, that's just something that's happening. There's been some news reports. Police, like, interviewed me, but it's not my problem. And then it's suddenly like, I can't stop seeing this. It's everywhere. Like, I just keep seeing this symbol, and then I realize, oh, yeah, this symbol has been around for a long time. I basically made it,
There's something very good there that I can't quite get to just yet. Something about, your own worst enemy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta read more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do often feel that way, like about the books we've read by Naoki Urasawa, where I'm just like, yeah, I'll get to it eventually, but because, yeah, and
at least it's finished.
Yeah,
like we know there's an ending.
Mm-hmm. And that almost makes me feel worse, because I'm like, if it's like something like, something else
ongoing
that's ongoing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm interested in like catching up, or it's been going for like 10 years or something, and it's like, well, maybe it will end someday and then I'll catch up or something. But this one is like, I really just could, it wouldn't take that long.
I'm thinking about there's still characters who haven't been revealed in 20th Century Boys. I know this because I've seen them on covers.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of like Ultimate X-Men and how we complained about there's like too many characters and none of them are getting enough screen time to properly feel like somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get much beyond like what they tell us they are.
Yeah. And
it's hard though with an X-Men comic, like you were saying, Cody, like they can't just be like, this character who's like Storm will show up eventually, you just gotta wait. And people are like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm either going to pick it up for this character or I'm not.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So they got to show all the characters off.
Yeah, and also, it's a pretty abbreviated timeline for superhero comics, too. They're going to be ending the title this April, and it started in 2024,
Jeez.
So...
Wow.
Yeah, you don't get, like, the 23 plus volumes that, like, 20th Century Boys has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, yeah, so I'm sure, and that's kind of a thing that's been, in, superhero comic circles of discussion. Like, was this a planned ending or not a planned ending by, like, Marvel editorial? But if we assume that it was a planned ending, then, Peach knowing from the very beginning, okay, I want to tell this story and I only have this long to do it, you know. Yeah, it's a hard task.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Jake, did you have any favorite moments or unfavorite moments?
I liked 20th Century Boys a lot. That was good. I didn't end up reading Loving Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last two, well, yeah, I guess the last two I read, Ultimate X-Men and Luna, were both not as good as I was hoping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I spoke it on there. I was a little disappointed that all the cults were, like, the stuff they were saying was real.
Oh, yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping for, and maybe 20th Century Boys is different because they seem to be making the things they're saying are real. But the rest of them, like, I wanted it to turn out to be like, oh, yeah, no, we lied. There was no whatever, because that's more realistic. But, you know, they are comic books, so I suppose that's on me.
Yeah.
I do think you really have the idea, Cody, that they're like, we gotta get this done. We gotta, you know, it has to be supernatural then. Like, how else is somebody gonna fall for all this? I feel, I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm saying that it feels like a lot of them felt that they had to go that route. And I agree with you, Jake, that it is kind of disappointing, especially with the Luna. I mean, okay, Luna and Loving Ohio, I'm both like, it doesn't have to be real.
Yeah.
It's almost more compelling that the lie you're being fed is a lie.
Yeah, I think Loving Ohio gets away with it a little bit more for me because it feels much more like allegorical, I guess, you know, like it like, I mean, it's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect, but it kind of gets to like eat both slices of cake.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, this action is really happening, you know, people in the story are dying, but also I can kind of feel like there's like this, you know, it's an action layer on the reality of like the cult is just, you know, killing people through control and like, you know, and maybe like even the friend was like really did commit suicide in that story, but you know, it was because he felt so suppressed by the cult, you know. And
I don't know if I agree with that though. I because the whole like the like massacre that happens in the basement at that one little free concert. I'm like, what was the point of that?
yeah.
And then
That was that
Also-
at the basement of the synagogue, or not the synagogue, but whatever
Church?
they call.
Yeah.
Not. Well, they didn't call it a church, but
Yeah, the
I think they did literally call it a church.
Yeah, I don't well, the thing was it might not have been controlled by the cult in that story. Like it might have been like an actual church, but I can't remember. I remember I commented on the little like stamp after they paid the cover charge. It was, and I can't remember what it was though. But yeah, anyway, what were we saying about, oh yeah, that's right. Shuenta, you were making a point about what the point was of
A point about what the point was.
yeah.
This desire, if it really is like an allegory, like not actually happening in the way it's depicted. You know, a dude went into like this free concert and like stabbed a bunch of teens, young adults, young people in the town, and then like barred them from leaving because there's a fire or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that to sow discord? Is that to like enhance the image of the cult as like in comparison to whatever is going on there?
Yeah, I guess if
Because he's like the supernatural being is supposed to be the a cult enforcer. Like that's why it crawls in the window and attacks the main character at the end, and that's the big climax. Is like I murdered him back.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I mean too that it's not perfect, because I do agree that it feels like he's meant to be some sort of enforcer, like you said, but also the way that I view it on the other hand is that it's more like when a cult protects somebody who is dangerous, you know? So it's like, yeah, he went into this place and like killed a bunch of people, but he's a big member of the cult.
He's our guy.
Yeah, he's our guy. So we're gonna cover it up. Mm-hmm. You know, we control the media here. We control, you know, how, you know, we can, when people come to our, you know, meetings, we can tell them what happened in our version. And
he just stalks the woods and stabs people, and then other people wander into the woods to get stabbed as well.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying now, Cody.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't glean that from the book itself without somebody saying it, I don't know. It's not a good depiction then.
Yeah,
not compelling at least.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see what you mean. The idea of, you know, there's other forms of violence that run rampant in cults.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of see it as like it's founded on things that just seem ridiculous, you know, that are essentially lies, you know, like that you can open up another level of consciousness or something like that. And in particular, like, you know, in the end where they, hey, in order to join us, we want you to sign over everything that you have. It's like asking for complete control. Like, that sticks out to me as, like, very cultish behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And so, to me, that's the lie, rather than saying that what, you know, it's still saying, like, what we're saying is untrue, you know? So it still meets that standard to me of, like, what a cult would be. But then having a supernatural element in that regard is just more like, yeah, we're really evil. Like, just in case you didn't know that.
Yeah. For sure.
Maybe I don't like the lack of subtlety there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he could just... Does he have to be supernatural to make that point?
Fair.
Yeah.
That, like, abuse is running rampant in the community, and we're so in control that we can just make everybody ignore that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. It's like, yeah. Because I'm thinking about, like, what it would be like if, you know, the supernatural element was stripped away and it was just like I said, you know, basically like it just, you know, the sky's killing people and the cult is covering it up for him because they don't want, you know, they don't want to deal with having somebody in their cult be under that kind of, like, you know, scrutiny for being bad, you know. And so I don't know, like there's, yeah, at that point it kind of, I think that it comes back to what I was saying earlier, or at least this is the point I think I was trying to get to, which is that I might be asking myself, well, why am I not just reading a story that actually happened, you know?
A nonfiction.
A nonfiction story, yeah. You know, because like Jake kind of said too, it's like, well, this is a comic book, you know, which I mean, there is nonfiction comic books, but, you know, I kind of, I figure what you meant in that way was that, you know, it's, we're delving into fictional stories generally.
Yeah, like, I don't think, like, Ultimate X-Men would not have been improved if the cult was also fake. You know what I mean? Because that's like, you need to have a big fight at the end. Maybe not, because it's the Ultimate and it's ending, allegedly. But, like, Luna would have been better if it was fake.
Gotcha. Interesting.
And
Yeah.
20th Century
Run into
Boy-
the cave and then there's a drug stash.
Yeah, if it was just drugs.
Yeah, the betrayal feels kind of undermined by the fact that, yeah, it's all real, and you were the destined special one to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see your point.
I mean, we don't even get to see her car crash. I want to see her car crash.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We see the smoke and her lying on the ground.
I mean, I love when I wake up in a video game and the NPC goes, "Oh my gosh, you've just been through a lot."
Yeah.
We can't show you the cutscene though.
Yeah. Or cue the Skyrim cutscene, like
It totally is. Loving Ohio. I guess the last thing I'll say is just, it's fine if it wanted to do supernatural elements. I just, I don't know. I almost would prefer if like the main characters use supernatural elements to like, oh, if you look through this glass, you can see what's really going on over here or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just feels so weirdly like you can almost cut it out and he still would just be stabbing everybody.
Yeah, no.
He's like, I have a lot of arms to stab a lot of people. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I guess I can
Just
get that.
swing faster, I guess.
It feels a little bit one-sided that like, the kids can't like figure more answers out, but also I don't know, it's so hard to like decide what I want out of this, because like I kind of mentioned in the episode that it's like, well, in a real cult, I'm sure there's a lot of times where you don't get answers, you escape and you're glad that you escaped. And then it's like, and you wonder, you stay up late at night and you're like, why was it like that? Why did they do that?
Am I
thing?
misremembering it?
Yeah, am I misremembering it,
Am I just being too mean? Do they just want the best for me?
Right, yeah.
Am I just inherently bad?
Yeah.
And they need to fix me? I get the sense that the supernatural element is part of the, like, as we said, is this real or not? Even as the readers, we weren't sure. And that's what is supposed to be depicted. Like, is this just a dude crawling in through the window to hurt them? Or is this a supernatural creature person that seems almost impossible to defeat? Like, no one's going to believe them, though.
Yeah.
I could see Loving Ohio having room to be like, this was a story that I was telling, and now that I'm like decades removed from it, it's like, I don't know, was he supernatural? Was he just like really scary?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like, just like, even though they're teenagers in this, it's like once you have that amount of time removed from something, it's like, it's similar to, trying to remember a childhood memory. And it's like, oh, that, it's like, did he really have 8 arms? Like, I've never seen anybody else that has 8 arms.
He only slit one throat with his 8 arms, and then he just left. Such a weak use of 8 arms.
Yeah. No, I think that's part of it. Well, I think that's going to be the end of our show. Yeah. Oh, I guess I forgot. We were supposed to rank these actually.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see here. It's tough. I'm gonna say 20th Century Boys, Loving Ohio, Ultimate X-Men, and then Luna.
I would say Loving Ohio, and even though I never read it, it's Naoki Urasawa. So 20th Century Boys is number 2.
There's gotta be something decent there.
Yeah. That'd be number 2. And I think that I would put Luna as number 3 and Ultimate X-Men. I did look at a couple of pages of Ultimate X-Men, and I knew I was not going to enjoy it.
Okay.
not particularly compelling visually.
Yeah.
Jake?
I'm not gonna rate Loving Ohio just because I didn't read it.
Fair.
But I'd say, yeah, 20th Century Boys, Ultimate X-Men, and Luna. Luna, I really didn't like. But the art, I guess, was kind of good.
For me, I mean, we know 20th Century Boys. I guess Loving Ohio, Luna, and then Ultimate X-Men. Luna, I didn't like, but the moment I saw the art style, I knew what it was about. I knew what was going to happen in the story. I'm sorry, but if you do lips like that, I know that you're going to have drugs in your story.
But did you
That's the
know
judgmental
she was
part
going
of
to
me.
become the moon?
Yeah.
Kind of. The moment they said there was a sun god, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, that's kind of fair.
The moment they mentioned the sun, it's all over, folks.
Yeah.
Whoever likes romantasy books, I have a feeling this is what they are like.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'd still say that this is like, yeah, not poorly written, but written, like you said, it's a short story extended out.
It's a short story. Like, yeah, it's a full arc. Like, he finds a single clue and figures it out and, defeats the bad.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all that we have for our show today. This has been our retrospective on our theme of cults. If you liked this episode, be sure to follow us on Twitter at The Comic Panel 1 and listen to more of us on Spotify at The Comic Panel Podcast. You can also listen to us on KSUAradio.com or on 91.5 FM in Fairbanks, Alaska on Saturdays at noon. Be sure to tune in 2 weeks from now for the start of our new theme. I'm Cody.
I'm Talon.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Shawinta.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.
Why should I repeat myself?